Good morning and welcome to the More Laughing in the Morning show. I'm your host, comedian Allison Moore. You made it. Hot dog. You made it. You made it. We made it. We made it through the weekend. What a weekend, huh? We got to talk about it. Talk about it. So listen, on today's show, we are chatting with CEO, President of Community Bridge, Inc., Shawn Nance. We're talking all this week about taking a seat at the table. And so today, for Money Monday, we're discussing building generational tables. So we talk with Shawn Nance. We got drama to discuss over coffee and Coronacation. I'm excited that you're here. I'm here. So do me a favor, grab your coffee, share this episode. It's our season finale, y'all. We gonna talk. Let me just play some music. Okay? Okay. I'll be right back.
But it's time to get it's time to get up. Yeah. It's time to get moving. It's time to get up. Yeah. It's time to get moving. Hey. I'm up. Come on. I'm up.
Calm down is when I dance in.
In the shoulders. In the shoulders. In the shoulders. And the only time I'm down is when I'm dancing. In my knees. Hey. In my knees. Hey. In my knees. Hey.
And the only time I'm down is when I dance in.
In my feet. Hey. In my feet. Hey. In my feet. Hey. And the only time I'm down is when I'm dancing. In my back now. In my back now. It's time to get up. Yeah. It's time to get moving. It's time to get up. Yeah. It's time to get moving. Hey. So come on, everybody, get up.
Welcome back. So the More Laughing in the Morning show is your morning cup of lifestyle motivation and comedy. I am your host, comedian Allison Moore, and so I am little bit about me. So we can be clear if this is your first time watching. Welcome. I'm your host, comedian Allison Moore. So I'm Virginia's comedian. I am your conference's coffee. I am a real motivational speaker out here in these streets. I am a real motivational speaker. That's how they make them in 2020, okay? I am also the absolute coolest cornball you're going to ever meet. And I'm everybody's hype girl. I hype you up, your mama up, your granddaddy up. You get a hype. Okay, sorry. It's Monday. So what does that mean? Hey, look, I'm here to hype you up, hype myself up. We got places to go, people to see, things to do. The world is opening back up, and you and I have goals. We're goal getters, goal setters, and goal getters. That's what we do. Like, am I country? Do I got a twang? A twang country? Goal setters and goal getters. Okay, focus. Anyway, focus. So today is the first day of our season 1 finale. Give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, my other hand kind of tied up. Sitting in a new spot today. I've been promoted or demoted, I don't know. The team told me to sit over here, y'all. It's season 1, which is our theme for the week, is a seat at the table. For those of you who know, we've been pushing on with our show, with getting motivated, inspired, starting our day with a little bit of positivity, some laughter, and writing down stuff we got to do so we can be knocking down these goals, being the people that we want to be by this time next year, and then this time 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We got plans out here in these streets, right? And so over these last few weeks, this is episode 40, so from episode 1 through 40, how many weeks is that? How you divide 5 into 40? Wait, is this 8 weeks? Wait, 8 times 5? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 8 weeks, y'all. Or 9 weeks. I'm so confused. I think this is whatever. Anyway, chat. Do me a favor. Make sure that I know before the next episode how many weeks this is. Anyway. The dangers of going down bird trails when you're by yourself include not knowing what you're talking about and not having anybody to help steer you back. I could do this because I'm smart. I'm kind. I was important. So this is Seat at the Table. This week's theme is a seat at the table, and we are pulling everything that we've learned over our journey from the beginning of the More Laughing in the Morning show until now. We see from what's happening in current events and trending news that if someone that is not like you is not represented or is not a voice at the table in which influences your life, my life, then our best interests are not considered, at least not a priority. So you think about what's impacting your life, what's impacting the world in which you live in, education, medical, money, business, entertainment, every facet of our life. There are people who make decisions on the things that influence you and I, right? And so if there's not someone that's sitting at that decision-making table that looks like you or I, then the things that you and I need are not going to be at the top of the priority list. And this is a time, as we're seeing things are changing, this is a time for us to really lean in and make sure that we grasp that. Because we need our voices heard so that the best decisions for us, our best interests, could be pulled to the forefront as well. And so this week, that's what we're looking at. We are looking at how many ways we can be inspired, we can be motivated, we can have greater understanding on what is required for us to take a seat at the table. And in some cases, it's taking a seat at the table, and in other cases, it's building your own dang on table. And that's what today's episode is. So on Mondays, you know, we focus on money. Mondays is Money Mondays. Money, 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 money. Monday. You ain't asked for the remix, but I like it. Okay, sorry. On Mondays, we focus on money. And today for our This Time Next Year segment, our guest is Shawn Nance. Now, Shawn Nance is a personal mentor of mine, but she is a president of Community Bridge. She is the president of Community Bridge, Inc. over in D.C. We'll talk about that in a minute. But listen, what we doing to get these kids ready to have a seat at the table, huh? Let's talk. Can we talk about it? Talk about it. My kids need to understand, like, you know, for many of us, seats are not just like, oh, come on, Allison, here's your seat, girl. We've been waiting on you. That is not what it is. We got to kick in the door, waving the fourth floor. Are you here? Allison, don't hit me no more. Sorry, you didn't answer that either. You didn't answer that either. But the truth of the matter is, we have to be taking responsibility to create tables and make sure that there are seats available for not just us, but for our children, right? We got to make sure that this stuff is flowing down. It is not a one-time fluke, but that it is flowing down in our generation so that our children and our grandchildren and their grandchildren can benefit from being decision makers over things that affect their quality of life. So I'm so excited about today. I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm excited because I'm not excited that it is the end of our first season. Can we pause? Y'all never would have made it. You did not ask for that either, but y'all got to get this karaoke before we go. Although we've come. Okay, dang it. I am sorry. I should put that the More Laughing in the Morning show is a musical. It is a musical combined with lifestyle, motivation, and comedy. So from 1 through now, as those of you who've been on this journey with us from the beginning, thank you very much. In January, we started a group, the More Laughing in the Morning group. It was all about being motivated and writing down what our goals were in various ways or areas of our life. In our money, what are our goals for next year financially? What are our goals for next year in our health? What are our goals for next year in our profession? What our goals are next year in our relationship, and what are our goals for next year or this time next year in our faith. And so starting in January, we're getting up at 6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:20, 6:30, sometimes in the morning, and really just being encouraged to do something towards what our goals were for ourselves this time next year. Well, so my goal was I want to be a talk show host. By this time next year, I'm about to be a talk show host. And so that's what I was really pressing into. So at the beginning of 2020, we didn't have the impact of COVID-19 as we did once it got closer to like March, right? And so the beginning of the year, your girl was flying high. Listen, I opened up for Martin Lawrence. What? I'm about to be famous out here in these streets. So, I was choo. And just like everybody else, my world was totally impacted by COVID-19. And we got to a point where we were like, all right, well, now that COVID-19 is here, how you going to act? And so I felt like that was, couldn't go outside anyway. So this was my time to just try to throw on this talk show hoe. I call myself a talk show hoe. I'm a talk show hoe? I'm not a hoe. She a hoe. She a hoe. Oh, I'm not a hoe. I'm not a hoe. Am I a hoe? Am I a talk show hoe? I can't be a talk show hoe. I'm not a hoe. Anyway, talk show host. Excuse me. So anyway, so I said, you know what, this is my time to try out this talk show host opportunity. Let's just figure it out. And so we did it. 40 episodes later, we've had some good days and some hills to climb. Anyway, so if nothing else, I appreciate you all for waking up with us, enjoying the improv show that we've had. But I hope that you've been inspired. Like, we got to chase these dreams. We got to go ahead and put ourselves, look crazy, break the sound, mess up technologically. Is that the right word? All kinds of things that I've done. It's a part of the process. And so I hope that you've been inspired to push on your thing. Because, look, you can look up and be on 40 episodes, y'all. Come on. We got stuff to do. All right, focus. It's Monday. And should nobody told me to be on my couch. Oh, this is my little prop up. Hold it. Yeah? Okay. So let's get into this coffee and Coronacation, because, hold it. I already pushed that button. Hold on. Y'all making me nervous. Coffee and Coronacation. So Coffee and Coronacation segment is where we discuss current events and trending news over coffee. What? What a weekend, huh? What a daggone weekend. This has been a good weekend, though. Here's my teleprompter that I should have been using for the last 10 minutes. A couple of things has been going on this weekend where we have been winning against the fight against racism. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend was released and charges were dropped. Thank you, Lord. Can we get an amen right here? We're still protesters, activists, the community is still like, by the way, what's up with them officers? So we're still pressing on towards justice for Breonna Taylor and her family. And so we're doing good, y'all. All right, let's see. 2 officers that pushed the 75-year-old man down protesting was charged with assault. That's also a major win. What's happening is we're beginning to see the shift. We're beginning to see the world come together and show that people got to be held accountable. Like, no longer are we going to push off things, because what's happening is we're sending a message that certain people or certain causes are not important. What happened right here? When did this fall down? One of my shriblets is unruly. Hold on. I got to tuck my shriblet in. Why y'all ain't tell me? Don't be having me looking crazy now. Because I be doing enough crazy stuff. I don't need to look crazy on top of the crazy that I do. So we're looking at the balance being shifted. We're looking at things like, okay, enough is enough. And I'm really excited about that, because this is sending the message to people in authority and just people, period, that you're going to be held accountable for your actions. So think twice before you just respond and then think that nobody is going to really care or pursue the issue. Also, y'all, I don't know. Listen, if you're not a person of faith, go ahead and close your ears real quick. But for the rest of some y'all believers, I think, wait, the world about to come to an end. Mitt Romney is out on the streets protesting. I was like, wait, what? Hold it, what? And my political journey is a little sketch, right? I'm learning, I'm growing. Judge your mama, don't judge me. Your mama don't know nothing about politics. I ain't talked about y'all mama in a long time. Let me bring your mama back up. Bring your mama up. So, I've been learning, right? So I don't necessarily hadn't been following Mitt Romney's his political contribution. But some names, so I'm like, I heard Mitt Romney. And I'm like, Mitt Romney, he a bad guy, right? Like, I'm like the little kids that watch the movie. Mama, they a bad guy, right? I was like, Mitt Romney, Is he with us? You know, that name sound like he was. Hard out here in the streets, y'all. When the Mitt Romneys of the world come out and start walking with us, it's like, okay, you know what? Enough is enough. This. Are your eyes open? All right, come on. Tune back in, people. Tune back in. Everybody, come on. Some of y'all are like, I don't believe. You ain't got to. Okay? You ain't got to. Just stay on for the laughs. Activists staged die-ins outside U.S. embassies, tearing down a statue of former slave owners. Activist thugs out here in the streets, huh? I've seen some pictures and some different things. Some of y'all is real creative. Have y'all seen the post of the white women that got like, it's kind of sexual. It's really weird. The double standard is real glaring too, that, you know, some of the sexualization, like we like black D's, so we're gonna, I don't know, weird stuff like that. But it's happening. I mean, this is bringing out all kinds of people's voices and character and ways in which they're spreading their message. But these activists was like, you know what, we're going to go ahead and tear down these slave owner statues ourselves. We're not going to continue to wait. I'm like, oh, we rowdy. Okay. Anyway, this has been very interesting. Like, this weekend was like popcorn. So much going on. It was just, you didn't have to turn on TV. I ain't had to Netflix and nothing, because it was the news. News flicks. And the climax of this movie, or the Academy Award, or the Gangster, or the Entertainment, or the somebody award, we got to name it, the Coronacation Award. Yeah, we're going to get this Corona, because I don't think this can be topped. But if Mayor Petty will come to the front of D.C., hold it, the mayor of D.C., when I woke up and seen on my timeline, Black Lives Matter on the streets of DC, I said, hot diggity dog, hot diggity dog. Where'd that come from? Somebody Sesame Street or something. Hot dog. One of the little kid shows. Y'all, the mayor of DC, that is so gangster. One day I just want to be that gangster. Like, we're gonna do what? So that's why I got on my little shirt. This is representative. My street sign yellow shirt is representative of Black Lives Matter being painted in the streets of D.C. leading up to the White House. They'd have did that man like that. You know he a nut. You know he might come back with some foolishness. You know that, right? Oh, look. These headlines. One thing's for sure, it's going to be a whole entire curriculum for the daggone 2020. 2020 has its own history course. This is not just, you know, a group. This 1 year alone has its own curriculum, has its own, I mean, season one, not season one, but what quarter one, COVID-19, quarter two, racial inequality. What's happening in quarter three? I hope me being a millionaire fall in quarter three. Come on, somebody. Anyway, all right, moving on. Listen, my team getting nervous. Like, look at your time, girl. Look at your time. I hear y'all. Boom. Generational table building. So, all right, we got to get into this time next year segment because I am so excited. So I mentioned to you in the beginning that one of my mentors, Shawn Nance, has joined us in our interview. Shawn Nance is the president of Community Bridge Inc. So Community Bridge Inc. is the reason why this is so special to me is because obviously, with her being a mentor, I have a personal relationship with her. But I've known her. She was my coach in high school. So in high school, I was on a dance team at Phoebus High School. P-H-S. Sorry. Whew. I felt that 15-year-old rise up in me. She is still there. Clearly, you can see she never grew up. After this year, I'm gonna get mature. Side note, y'all see my is my ADHD happening like real prevalent right now? Well, y'all should have been here with me this weekend, so I could have got it together. By Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be a little smoother. It's Monday. I'm excited. I missed you. I have missed you. Y'all see that? I replied to my plant. I got a real pot. I think the pot's still too small. Is it still too small? All y'all plant observers? Let me know. I got some other plants too. I'm gonna show them to you. I named my plants. Y'all be so proud. Anyway, so Coach Shawn is such an important part of my life and my journey from a teenager through my young adult years into my old years now. Am I old yet? How? I'm not a young adult now. What am I? A middle adult? Somebody tell me what I am. And so I've been excited or just appreciative of being able to see her journey. Her mother started a business that she's the CEO of Community Bridge, Inc. And then she's passed the baton to Shawn, who is now the president of Community Bridge, Inc. And they have been doing some amazing things. And I've been watching Coach Shawn transition and begin to prepare her sons for this business. And it's one of those things where if you don't see a model before you, you know, it's really hard for us to be something that we've never seen before. And so when you have opportunities to see other people do some of the things that your heart desires to do, then it's just impactful. It's just inspirational. But all the time we don't have these exposures. And so that's why I'm so excited about at least being able to introduce you to her so that you all can see, you know, some of the, I'm gonna just let you see it. So anyway, so this is Coach Shawn. Hold it. Oh, I forgot I could do my thingamajigs. Boom. Oh wait. Y'all lost me. Hold on. Where'd I go? I gotta work on this. I'm like halfway in there. So that's Coach Shawn. No, wait. When we come back for season 2, y'all, we're gonna be in the studio, FYI, with other people. Y'all ain't gotta worry about me doing this dumb stuff. I'm gonna just be able to talk. Okay? Okay. Shout out to all the production film people. Listen. Your life matters. You matter. Okay. All right. So Coach Shawn is the president of Community Bridge, Inc. But I want to show you this little commercial before we see her interview, so you can see they got they have this Bank of America commercial that I think will be really helpful for you to understand who they are.
Starting Community Bridge, it has been part of our mission to make sure that we change lives.
We wanted to do something more than just open a business. We would hire directly from the jail to the community, so that's how we started out. Whoever we hired, we wanted to make an impact. Community Bridge is a full-service facility management company, and we do snow removal, landscaping, and janitorial.
It started off with a parking space and a mommy van where we had meetings because we didn't have a building.
At that point, we had no roof, 2 lawnmowers, and 2 contracts.
We went having 1 truck and a trailer to going down to purchase 4 or 5 more trucks the next day.
And all of a sudden, we had a business.
Bank of America for Community Bridge started day 1. That was part of the foundation.
As a small business owner, it's very important that I have a bank that supports me, and Bank of America made that walk with us and made it easier.
The same people that gave us the opportunity when we didn't have anything are the same ones that are our partners today.
I'm passing down this family business to my daughter, who's then going to pass it down to my grandsons.
That's a huge responsibility, but it's one that she's prepared me for.
When I see how she has grown and her commitment and dedication to Community Bridge, it reminds me why we went into business and what's important.
To see her as a woman, to see her as a business owner has been one of my joys in life.
When we talk about a legacy, for me, something that's going to empower other people and teach other people and support other people, and I hope that it continues down through my legacy and generations. I have the power to build a legacy for my family.
Isn't that nice? I'm just like, I'll be like them when I grow up. I want to be like them when I grow up. So that's Coach Shawn and her mother, Miss Shelton. I be telling my daughter, like, we gonna be like that. She be like, okay, Mama. Yeah. I gotta work on my presentation skills, clearly. All right, so I really want to share this interview. So enjoy the interview, and after that, we'll come back and I'll close. Okay, gosh. The queen is here. The queen is here. Listen here. This queen right here. Coach Shawn is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. My Coach Shawn. My captain. Oh my God, I'm so glad. This was my last week, and I couldn't. You starting off this week for me. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. Yes.
I appreciate you, Coach Shawn. So listen, so I told everybody, I'm introducing y'all to my coach. This has been my longest first mentor ever.com. And you absolutely positively have been a huge force in my life with just leveling up my mentality. And you've waited for me to get a little more mature and expose me to the finer things in life, and starting with my thinking. And so I really wanted you to just come and jump on, because I wanted to glean from you, as this week we're talking about a seat at the table and what that means. And so I have always been so highly inspired by, your story. But if you will, for me, if you'll just tell everybody, who you are, what you're the queen of, so we can catch them up.
Got you. So I'm Shawn Nance. I think I was John Shelton when I was your coach. So I'm a graduate of Hampton University, and I absolutely am not one of those people that knew exactly what I wanted to do. I am kind of one of those people that makes the opportunity as it comes and makes sure I'm prepared when they come. I met Allison because I was coaching her and several other young ladies through dance, and I was like the crazy coach. So I wasn't like the coach that 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. Like I jumped.
Yeah, no, you was like the lean on me, Joe Clark.
I was lean on me. Like I was in there raising hell with the principals and stuff. Like I'm gonna go to their class and make sure they getting their grades, So I was one of those just extra, these are my babies. They are going to be successful. And they all are. I mean, actually, all of them have done extremely well, and I'm proud of them. So from there, I moved to Maryland, and I became an educator. So I was a teacher for several years and became a vice principal. At that time, my mother had started a company named Community Bridge, and she was talking about closing it. And she said, well, why don't you come over for a year? Community Bridge is a full facility management company. We are based in Washington, D.C., but I also have offices in Maryland. I've had offices in Atlanta. We do work all up and down the East Coast. It started off where 80% of the people that worked for us were ex-offenders and looked like me. So our goal was to teach our African-American males primarily how to be able to successfully get a skill so that they did not have to be in jail. So that has been a passion project and a challenge. As we have grown, we have had to lower that number of ex-offenders because we have branched into a space where security now is a lot tighter. So a lot of my guys can't pass the security check. So they are kind of limited, but it's still our passion, and we still come in. We have GED programs, home buying programs, everything that's going to help uplift our African-American males. Cause I got 3 African-American boys. And so I want to make sure that, that all of us have a seat at the table.
I mean, you are absolutely the queen at that. I mean, even from when, as teenagers, you were so dead set on making sure that we had experiences.
Absolutely.
And got to see our options. I mean, that's something that you've been doing since your early 20s, trying to equip people, youth, us, anybody, your friends, peers, older than you, younger than you, with the mindset and the tools to get their own seat at the table.
Absolutely.
And your personality, your temperament, your strategy includes, you may ask one time, and then after that, you're kicking in the door and you're going to take a seat. You'll build your own table.
Yes. Definitely having a seat at the table, but also knowing when you need to build your own and not being scared. And that's one of the things that I like about your generation. Y'all have a lot less fear than my generation has had. And I think it starts from exposing from a very young age. I think teaching our young African-American children that no doesn't mean no in anything. No means not right now. No means you're not prepared. So what do you have to do to get prepared so that answer can be yes? And that has been how I've lived a lot of my life. Somebody tells me no, I'm trying to figure out what do I need to do to prepare myself so that the next time I come to you, that the obvious answer is yes. And so I think that starts from a mindset change, and understanding that our opportunities are endless, that a lot of times it's just a matter of not talking about what we're going to do, but taking one step forward and actually doing it. And that's scary, because most people are hoop dreamers. Most people sit around the table. We all talk about what we're going to do if we had $1 million, but we don't talk about what we're going to do to get $1 million. And that's the difference. And so I think it starts from a young age, taking the kids, like even my children, when they were in the car seat, if I had meetings, they would go, so that they know what's going on. They know how a contract is supposed to run. They know how those things are. My part, I can only expose them to my life. But then over here, I need to expose them to other things. So I'm going to send you out of the country. I'm going to do all of those things so that you don't believe the world is small. I mean, the world is big, that you understand that the world is small and that you can create these opportunities for yourself. That's why I love what you're doing. I am so impressed by what you're doing, because you are creating your own table. You're not allowing anybody in society to say that you can't make it, or you have to stay in this little box because that's required as a woman and a mother. And no, forget that.
You were the one that was like, even when I did that pitch party, that VIP party, to pitch a few people or to share about the Black Please business and to get my first round seed of money. And you were like, you're bringing your kids, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, no. You're like, yes, you are.
Yeah.
If you don't want to bring that youngest one, I'll let you slide on this
one.
Right. But you need to bring those older two, and they need to be there. They need to be a part of that.
Absolutely. So that they understand. See, we get these, this is one of the most impactful things for me when I really realized, okay, so my mother was 55 the first time she went out of the country. I was 35 and my son was 5. Those starting points in all 3 of our lives were at different points, but it was the starting point for all of us. So getting on a plane and going out of the country is like, for my children, because their starting point was so young. For me, I just traveled around the United States. Hey, I'm going to California. I'm going to Vegas. I think I'm good, with no concept of, let me go to Spain until I'm 35. My mother, she was 55. So imagine if we move those starting points in business, in financial literacy, in relationship management to our kids. So many of us are divorced because we're not taught how to be married.
Hey,
We don't teach those things to our children, and then we wonder why we are repeating a generational curse.
Okay, Monday we focus on money. So how do we start, especially people like me who I wasn't taught financial literacy? So how do I start teaching my children a concept that's already kind of foreign to me? Where do I start? Or what are some things that I can start doing now that'll prepare me or put me in a different position this time next year?
So the first thing is that you have to understand how the dollar works. A lot of people only understand, I go to the paycheck, I get my paycheck, it goes in the account, and then I just pay my bills. You don't understand what pre-tax money is and how that can work for you. You don't understand the tax implications, and we don't want to. We don't want to pick up a book and read it. But that's one thing that you can do, is understand how the dollar actually works for you. Number 2 is, don't take advice from anybody in the same financial situation as you are. Period. Don't take advice from anybody in the same situation. Period. Whether that is financial, whether it is relationship, regardless of what it is, you listen and you say, thank you very much. And then you go find somebody who's doing what you want to do, and you hold on to their coattails and you ask them, how did you do it? Because the worst thing in the world is having a whole bunch of non-relationship people, having a whole bunch of crazy broke people talking about what they supposed to do to make money. You don't know. You live in the same apartment complex I live in. Or your boyfriend cheating on you too. What I'm gonna take advice from you for? Like, that is one of the mistakes that us as African American people make, period. We can't do that. We have to identify those people that are mentors, and those that are able and capable of being mentors need to reach back and pick up our young people and say, this is how you can do this. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you save. People don't do that. They think, oh my God, I'm going to, lose money. But then you get more money, you get more problems. People don't stay within their financial means. They make a little bit of money. They go buy a bigger house. That is the dumbest stuff ever. Figure out how to survive in your means. And when you make money, put it aside. Most of us don't work on a budget. Our budget is until our money runs out. And we think that because we're living from paycheck to paycheck, that it's just, no, you can still have a budget, and you always have to pay yourself.
So right now I'm reading, give me a book that I should read.
If you are reading financial literacy books, the first thing I would tell you to go back and reread the ones you've already read. So you know what, you can do them as audiobooks. That's what I do. But here's the other thing, you can't read it once. It's like going to church. You got to go every Sunday to get your cup filled. If you read it once, you ain't going to remember what the pastor said a year ago.
You're right.
So, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's a great one. It gives you the mentality and the mindset of two fathers that have different mentalities surrounding money, and the fear associated with taking a chance versus the success when you do. And so things like that, I've read that book 2 or 3 times, and you have to really understand the concept.
And I appreciate you, again, just stopping by and allowing me to pull from you a little bit so that our audience can benefit. Of course, when I get into our studio, you are going to be one of the first people on the real chair in the real life. But for now, we're in the Zoom dig, and I'm so glad that you were here. Thank you so much.
You're pivoting. This is what I love about you, that you are making a good pivot. So Zoom is good. Whatever you need, you got it. Absolutely.
Thank you. I love you, lady.
I love you too.
Toodles.
Toodles.
So that was my coach, y'all. I'm a whole grown woman. I'm about to be 40 years old and I still call her Coach Shawn. For real, we be out. People are like, that's weird. Your mama weird. Don't worry about me. One of the things that I've seen modeled, she's been doing this since before she had kids and we were teenagers, but that whole concept of pouring into the next generation to come. And that's a part of how we create these or help to build these generational tables by showing and modeling this mentorship type of mentality. Then the other piece is having that humility to find somebody that can be a mentor. And like what she said, we got to get out of the circle of people that are on the same page as us being our advisors. They can be those who we sharpen with, but we have to find somebody who has been successful and where we want to be and ask and glean from them. And that's the whole heart of the This Time Next Year segment, gleaning from people and their expertise and their interesting experiences so that we can learn and grow and become the better people that we desire to be this time next year. What she shared with me, and we talked about it in the interview, I was doing a fundraiser for one of my first seed rounds of money for the Black Please Coffee business. So I went in and asked her for $20,000, and I was talking with her about the presentation leading up to it, and she was like, you bringing your kids, right? And I'm like, no, this is not the Babysitters Club. She was like, yes, you will. And I sure did. I brought my children. They were part of the presentation, and they got to see that, and I appreciate her. Every time I go and do like opening up a business account and things like that, she's an advocate or proponent of take your children with you so that they can see this and this can become second language. They don't necessarily have to be the students in there asking questions, but let this become something that's normal to them so that when it's their time, it's not their first experience, right? And so that's something that I've been learning and growing in, obviously the book thing. So make sure that we're reading and we're educating ourselves because we got to know this stuff for ourselves. Many of us have learned, and if we did not learn before, we realize now that things are not going to just be handed to us. We got to build, we have to create, we have to educate ourselves, we have to take responsibility and accountability for growing, and then we got to go and get what we want. Go and get what we want. All right, so look, I'm excited about Coach Shawn was on the show, y'all. Yay! Let's see what else we got here. Listen, if you want you a Black Please hoodie or t-shirt, please Go grab you one from blackpleasecoffee.com. Thank you for all of your support with that. When we come back for season 2, we should be drinking on some Black Please coffee. Huh? All right, so listen, that was today's show. We're getting a seat at the table, y'all. We are getting a seat at the table. My name is on one of them seats, one of them tables. Your name is on one of those seats, one of those tables. What our ancestors bled and died for is for us. Let me calm down. I had my time. I love y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease. You want some music? You want to dance before you leave? Okay. Bye, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Tuesday. On Tuesday, we focus on total health. That's what we're supposed to focus on. But this is the season finale. The season 1 finale week. We might do. Who knows what we'll do. Just tune in tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thank you for hanging out with us. This is the More Laughing in the Morning Show. I am your host, comedian Allison Moore. The team, the More Laughing in the Morning Show team, shout out to them. And they're probably saying, hey, y'all, hey, in the comments as well. But they make all of this happen. And to the most important part of the show, the audience, I appreciate you. We made it, y'all. Okay, all right. I ain't gonna talk you to death. I know, my time is over. Okay, bye. Hold it. You're making me nervous. Hold it, guys.
But it's time to get, it's time to get up. Yeah. It's time to get moving. It's time to get up. Yeah. It's time to get moving. Hey. I'm up. And the only time I'm down is when I'm dancing. In my knees, ayy. In my knees, ayy. In my knees, ayy.
And the only time I'm down is when I dance in.
In my